girly now. My mind being as unhinged as it is,
Rather we have some beef.
I've decided to give this book a second chance and I'm disappointed. I think I'm a fantasy girly now. This month, I finally decided to dip my toes into the oh so popular fantasy world, and I am so happy that I did. Not only did I expand my reading into the fantasy world, which may or may not have been a 5-star read, I also gave a book a second chance, and I got pretty disappointed in a book that I had high hopes for. Let's see how that went. Guys, today is the day that I am finally going to start my fantasy journey, and I'm so very excited. The first book that I've decided to start with is none other than Fourth Wing by Miss Rebecca Yarros. I have heard all of the hype about this book, so I'm very excited to start here as a reader who has absolutely no idea what to expect. I have never read fantasy before, but I think I'm going to like it. I've heard that the book is like Hunger Games-esque and that there's dragons. I like the Hunger Games and I'm sure I like dragons, so I'm very excited to dive into this book and into the fantasy world. You guys, I am in love with Fourth Wing. I'm only 30% through, so not even halfway, but I am absolutely loving it so far. I feel like anytime I read it, I'm watching a movie in my head. Like the words just disappear and I'm just envisioning everything, and I really, really love when an author can make me feel like I'm doing that. I'm reading it on my Kindle. I don't have the physical copy of this book, but honestly, I might purchase it after I finish this. And I definitely am thinking that I want to get Iron Flame, which is her new book that came out. I've really been trying not to see any spoilers, one about Fourth Wing or two about Iron Flame, because that just came out a few days ago. But I just wanted to let everyone know that I am loving it. Guys, one, ignore the way that I look because I'm literally in bed about to go to sleep, but I'm reading Fourth Wing. I'm 87% through and this book is so good. My emotions have been all over the place from the last few chapters, and I don't want to give any spoilers away, but I love Xaden. I love him. I love Violet, and Dane, brother, we have some beef. You and I got beef. So that's where I'm at. I just wanted to pop in because I might not be able to put the book back down and I might finish it tonight. So when I bought Fourth Wing, I also bought A Court of Thorn and Roses, which is the first book in the ACOTAR series. And my mind being as unhinged as it is, I also went ahead and purchased the first 3 books in the Throne of Glass series, also by Sarah J. Maas. Before doing any of this, did I know if I would like fantasy? No. Do I know what any of the books are about? Also no. But I have convinced myself, after Fourth Wing, that I am now a fantasy girly. So once I get those books in, I will do an unboxing, and then I will read them and I will let you know if I can full send myself into a fantasy world or not. Well, I finished Fourth Wing last night, and let me tell you, the chokehold this book has on me, it has my heart. I did not expect to love this book as much as I did. I mean, I didn't have much of an expectation because I've never read fantasy before, so I didn't really know what to expect, but I highly recommend this book if you're just trying to get into fantasy reading, because there's not a lot of like politics through the book. There's some world building, but it's nothing incomprehensible. So I fully love and recommend this book. I'm giving it a 5-star rating. I finished it last night, so I've had some time to sit with it, but I'm sticking with my 5-star rating. The book is centered around this war college, which I'm absolutely going to butcher the name of, but I believe it is pronounced Basgiath. That is probably not correct, but regardless, there are different quadrants within the college. There's like the healers quadrant, the scribe quadrant, and the book is centered around the riders quadrant, which is both the most prestigious and most deadly. The main character, Violet, she is practically forced to go into the riders quadrant. And when she gets there, she meets Xaden, and he is out to kill her from the start. Once you're in the quadrant, there's different wings and different levels or years that you're in the college, that basically you have to fight for your survival the entire time that you're there. If you make it to what is called threshing, then you have the opportunity to bond with a dragon and they can help you wield powers. From the start, I absolutely loved Violet. I feel like she's a complete badass. And I also absolutely love Xaden from the start. He is certainly a smartass. I loved him and Violet's commentary throughout the entire book, and their relationship was definitely a slow burn, but definitely worth it at the end. I've come to learn that I quite enjoy enemy to lover tropes, and this book is certainly an enemy to lover trope, so I'm here for it. I am so happy that I read the book when I did, because Iron Flame is already out. I know myself and I would not be able to wait if I finish this book, which ends you on kind of a cliffhanger, and not be able to immediately read Iron Flame. So that is my plan. I think that will be my next book. I might read a palette cleanser in between. From the start, I didn't really like Dane that much. I felt like he was very overbearing on Violet, but Xaden, on the other hand, I loved him from the start. I don't know what it is about Xaden that just, he has chokehold on me. I'm an engaged woman, but I do have a crush on Xaden. Don't tell my fiance. Anyways, I can 100% say I am a fantasy girly. And if you saw in the other clip, I've already purchased the first book in the ACOTAR series, and I also purchased the first 3 books of the Throne of Glass series, which I'm also very excited to read. If you have read Fourth Wing, I would love to know your opinion on this book. I know it has some mixed reviews, but honestly, for a girl just starting out her fantasy journey, I definitely would recommend this book. Well, I've decided to give this book a second chance. If you watched my October reading wrap up, then you would know that unfortunately I DNF'd this book a few months ago when I was trying to read it. I will admit, I do think part of it has to do with the fact that I would stop halfway through a chapter, put the book down, and then not pick it back up for a few days. Anyways, with that said, let's give this book a second chance. The next day, and I am about halfway through the book right now. I just need to say I am so happy that I gave this book a second chance. The first half of it has been great. When I read it a few months ago, I was only a few chapters in. I did enjoy the storyline, but like I said, I just kept stopping in the middle of the chapter, so I ended up DNFing it. I'm really loving the mystery of this book. I feel like I'm trying to solve the mystery along with the characters. You get little like tidbits of information that you have to kind of try to put together to figure out what's happening in the book, and I am eating it up. I'm hoping that I can finish it maybe today, if not tomorrow, but I will keep you guys posted. Giving this book a second chance was 100% the right move. I finished it last night, and after sitting with it for a bit, I think I'm gonna land on a 4-star rating. I did love the beginning of the book. I was extremely captivated. I liked following along with the little tidbits of information to try and solve what happened on my own and along with the characters. However, the only reason I'm not rating it higher than a 4 stars was the ending of the book. Not that I was disappointed. I enjoyed the outcome of the book, but I do feel like there was some information that was given that could have been dove into a little bit deeper. Also, throughout the story, I feel like there were some subplots that just never really went anywhere. I don't know if that was Mary's intention with the book to try to divert the storyline. Obviously, the book is meant to keep you guessing and trying to figure out what happened to the main characters, but I do feel like some issues were not resolved. Overall, though, I am really happy that I gave this book a second chance, and I would 100% recommend it. Just to give a little bit of background information on this book, it takes place in a small town when one night a woman named Shelby goes out for a run and she never returns home. A few days later, Meredith and her 6-year-old daughter Delilah also end up going missing. Then miraculously, I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I feel like you know what I'm trying to say. But miraculously, 11 years later, Delilah is found safe and returned home to her dad Josh and her brother Leo. The story jumps between 11 years ago and the present day. It mainly follows the perspectives of Meredith 11 years ago and her son Leo and Kate, one of the neighbors, in the present day. Overall, the book was captivating. I enjoyed the time jump situation, and I also enjoyed following through the different characters' perspectives as they all try to solve the mystery. This month, for a book club that I'm a part of, the chosen book was Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ning. Now, prior to filming this video, I've already read about 15% of the book. I don't have much of an opinion as of yet. I have high hopes for the book because everyone in my book club was raving about it, and I know that there's also, I think, a TV series on Amazon. Okay, just sitting down to film this, I realized that I kind of blend in with my wall, so please ignore that. But I wanted to come in and give an update on Little Fires Everywhere. I finished the book about an hour ago and I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed in the book. I had such high hopes. Overall, I'd give the book 3 out of 5 stars. It was nothing spectacular. I mean, it was a good read at the time, but I'm probably never going to think about the book again. The book takes place in a perfect little community called Shaker Heights when Mia and her daughter Pearl move into Elena Richardson's rental home. Mia is an artist, and in terms of the community, you can consider her a nonconformist. Her daughter Pearl becomes good friends with the Richardsons, specifically Elena's son Moody, and we come to find out that everyone has their secrets in this perfect little community. Personally, I feel like the theme, like the divergent theme of having a perfect little community or perfect little world and having a non-conformist or a divergent has been done multiple times before. So in that sense, it was nothing new. I will say though, I felt like the book had really likable characters. I felt like there was a lot of character development throughout the book, especially for Izzy, Mia, Pearl. But the ending of the book, you guys, if I knew that the book had a sequel, another book coming out, maybe I would be more accepting of the ending, kind of feeling like a cliffhanger. But to my knowledge, there is not another book coming out. So to that, I feel like the ending was very ambiguous. I didn't like the ending as much as I wanted to. Again, I've heard really good things about this book, so I had high hopes, but the ending just really disappointed me. If you've read Little Fires Everywhere, please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are on the book.